Good morning, it's Barbara. Being brave and going live again today because I'm up very late and I want to get started. I went to the store yesterday and got the stuff I needed for the to start the whole project of the advent calendars for the daughters, granddaughters. And so I'm going to go rummage upstairs and see what I can come up with. Meanwhile, guess what was at the bottom of my driveway? I'm so excited. Megan, it's here. My advent from Megan. Oh my gosh. Somebody got Converse. Sheldon. Maybe not. Anyway. So anyway, that's my plan. Yesterday actually was very busy and I worked really hard, which is not my typical day. So there you go. I went to the store. I went to 3 stores because there were no advent kits at Michael's. But I got a few things at Michael's, including the initial charms that will go on the bracelets to distinguish the 2 bracelets. And some other stuff. And I got a few things that I will use to make the Christmas trees that Christy did her last video on. They're so cute. And so I'm driving away from Michael's and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot I wanted to get those sponge. She used sponge brushes to do the glue part. And I thought that was a good idea, but I forgot to buy them. So I was going to Staples anyway, which is right next door to Joann's. So I ran into Joann's and got a couple things at Joann's, and then I found little envelopes at Staples. And so now I just have to gather my goodies and see what I can come up with for the advent calendars. I'm getting quite excited about that. I think they're going to turn out really cute. And I hope my advent gets to New Zealand as promptly as Megan's got to me, because then it would be there on time, I'm quite sure. Because I think I was only a week and a half after. So it'll be kind of close. So then the other thing I did, when Dennis went out to pick up the freezer, and our basement is a complete disaster. Well, you haven't seen our dining room, but our basement is some gianter version of our dining room. In fact, we tease the kids and say we chuckle every time we put something in the basement and picture them dealing with it after we're dead. Although now our plan is that we're gonna, in theory, build a house next door and move. And so I guess we'll have to deal with it ourselves. So anyway, we were putting the freezer down there, and so Dennis and I spent an hour down there clearing a spot. Took an hour. Schlepping and lugging and whatever, so. And it's a little frustrating because, of course, we're throwing stuff out and recycling boxes. Dennis is big on keeping boxes for a really long time. So recycling boxes and things like that. And we did the calculation, and we will not be able to bring our trash cans in because we are leaving on Tuesday, and Tuesday is trash day. So either we have to ask the neighbors to put our cans up by our garage, which I think we could do. I think it would be all right if they were out all for a week. I don't think that would be terrible. And I'm sure Dave or the boys would do that for us, no problem. And we need to tell them we're going away anyway, just so they can keep an eye on the place. And then we would be able to take the trash out. But the basement trash is in giant bags. We could put the bags out because they'll just take them. So anyway, whatever. So we were working hard, and it was hard physical labor, and we had to stop when we stopped because it was time to walk the dogs. So yesterday was Friday. Thursday, I talked to you about upping the dog walking because I needed exercise. And we did do that on Thursday. We took a really long walk and it was great. And I felt like I exercised. So yesterday we getting ready to walk the dogs. I'm like, I feel like I've been already exercising. This is like me too. So we did a long walk, but not a super long walk. So we did it more than we normally do, but we didn't do as much as we did on Thursday or as much as we're going to do today. So, but I'm feeling good about that. So I'm working on my exercising. I've got a plan for the girls for their Advent, so that'll be fun. Although, now that I don't know, should I do a charm bracelet for Allison too? She can do a charm bracelet with her girls? Maybe not. Anyway, Carol was saying that she misses the idea of charm bracelets. She had one when she was a kid, and people would bring her charms when they were, you know, on vacation. They'd bring her charms and things for her charm bracelet. And I think that's what the Pandora bracelets turned into. You know, it was sort of like the more sophisticated, more expensive version of a charm bracelet. You know, you would get I mean, some people were giving a Pandora bead as a gift, just one bead, but they were like $50, you know, so it was a reasonable gift. It was too much for a bead. But when I was making beads, I had some mandrels that I could make big hole beads to fit on Pandora. I never had a Pandora. But I think that was sort of the updated version of a charm bracelet. So anyway, I hope the girls like it. They're gonna like opening a present anyway, and I'll make sure there's some real sparkly charms in there, and I think they're gonna have fun with it. And I'm gonna have fun making it in the next week or so. So that's great. Oh, I'm so excited. That is jam-packed full. Jam-packed. Of course, I knew it would be. I mean, mine was jam-packed full too because, you know, you put things for every day for a whole month. It ends up being a big package. Anyway, but I was a little annoyed with my mailman because I had a card in there to be picked up. Vicki, your card didn't go out in the mail. He just put the mail on top of it and didn't take it. And I had the flag up and everything. So maybe we will run past the post office on our way to walk the dogs. I did do a little bit on my blanket, and I did do a little bit on my sweater, and I got my sweater to the part where I'm ready to add the contrasting color. So I was tired. I was tired last night, brain tired and physically tired because I worked hard. And so I stopped. I read it, and I read it a few times so that I could figure it out in my head exactly what I was gonna be doing next. And so I'm excited to do that when I'm at a place where I can just sit and think for a few minutes. So that'll be fun. And I was looking at my bag of yarn, and I am not sure that I'm quite sure that I do not have enough of the main color, but I have a lot more of the contrasting color than I thought I did. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up doing the big shawl collar in the contrasting color, and the button band and the sleeves, cuffs, and the ribbing at the bottom. I think those are all going to be in the contrast color. And as I go forward, I'm going to be keeping the sleeves up with the body in the main color, so that if I don't get all the way down, they will match, and then I will pull a Leslie and everything else will be in the contrasting color. Or if I can, you know, do some calculations and figure out sort of where I am, I might stripe it into the contrasting color at the bottom of the sweater, something like that. But I misremembered how much yarn I had, although I did a whole boxy. So it may not be a problem. It may be that I don't have a good idea of how far this yarn is going to go. But I am very ready to Leslie up this sweater, no problem. It's going to look great. And even if I have enough, I think I'm going to do the shawl collar and the button band in the contrasting color. I think that would look good. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have much choice in that. I don't think I can get all the way to the shawl collar with the main color. And I think it'll look good. So I'm excited about that. So I'm getting to the mosaic part, people. Who knew? Who knew? And I'm excited. And I did a couple rows on my blanket. So I was doing some crafting last night, and then I got tired and I just sat and vegged for a few minutes and then went to bed. And then I slept late. Well, I didn't sleep great, so I was in bed late. It's not the same thing. I stay in bed when I'm not sleeping. I used to get up and make myself a cup of hot milk and just sit quietly and see if that would help. But back in the day when I was working, if I had a terrible night's sleep, it was worrying because I had such a long commute and I was always worried that I'd be sleepy when I was driving home. So I would get up and make myself a glass of hot milk, which I like. I used to be a big milk drinker, but milk has carbs, and I don't drink milk anymore. Although Dennis did just find a box of Sleepy Time tea. I suppose I could, come down and do that. But I always felt like, if I'm laying there, I'm resting, and so maybe that's okay. But, they say you shouldn't stay in bed if you're not sleeping. Your bed should be a place to sleep, but I feel like that'd be jumping up and down, whatever. Anyway, I was in bed a long time, but not sleeping great. But that's okay. I have no plans for today other than a long walk with my dogs and charm bracelets. I don't think we have anything else on the go. We saw Aura on Thursday. She did not have anything but a sore spot on her arm for her reaction, so that was good. I actually have a swollen, kind of red swollen part of my arm. I don't know if you can tell. You might even be able to tell that through my sweater where I got my shot. So I still have that. So I'm glad that I paid attention and got it in my left arm because I sleep on my right side. So, but none of us have had any reactions and all is well. Dennis started his pail of frozen grape juice yesterday, day before yesterday. He's a little concerned it might not be perking along like it should, but it looked like it was going when I just looked at it. I hope it works out. He'll be very sad. I think the timing wasn't good. He probably should have waited and ordered it after we got back so that, he doesn't have the time pressure of getting it to a certain stage before we go on our trip. Because we're going to be gone 9 days maybe, all in all. 2 days driving down, 3 days driving home because we're stopping at Russ and Pat's, and 5 days down in Florida. So he has to get his wine to a particular stage so that it can sit for 11 days without anybody paying any attention to it. And that also means we soon have to start doing dog food. But we have a new freezer, so that should be so much easier. We had to take, oh good, B got her third jab too. A bit of a bruise. But when we were going to North Carolina, I think we had to take some of the dog food over to Aura's and have her put it in her freezer because we didn't have enough room in our freezer to put a week's worth of dog food in. Because, each dog gets a package about this big, every day. So it ends up being quite bulky. So having the new freezer will be perfect for that endeavor because now we have to do 20 bags this big. So anyway, I'm feeling good. going to be gathering my charms and things to make charms, because of course not everything is a charm, and plowing ahead. Here are the envelopes. Here are the envelopes that I got for the and I got some pretty boxes, so they'll be in there and they're gummed, but I got stickers. But I also got 2 little boxes, one with dachshunds. Carol, that one's for you. And one with, I guess that's supposed to be an elf. That looks like a gnome, doesn't it? Anyway, so that's what I'm going to put their advents in. So that should be fun. All right. Yeah, I think so too. I think they're going to be happy with these. I think they're going to be fun to open. And I got little spring rings that are not that easy to work. So I'm counting on Mom and Dad to attach them to the bracelet, and then it won't be that easy to get them off. And so until the girls get more dexterous, and they'll stay on there. And I'm going to put a lobster claw clasp on it to make sure that it's pretty secure, in case they want to wear them to school, and they'll be sad if they lose them, and I don't want them to be sad. Although we can always, replace them. But it's not the same, just not the same. Okay, kids, thank you for joining me, and no trolls today, so that was nice. Only lovely people, only my normal lovely people. So thank you so much for coming along, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Please, please take good care of yourselves. Please stay safe and stay sane.